This is the Dragster podcast from Dragster.com, covering UK and European drag racing since 1997. Hosted by Graham and Chris. This bi-monthly show brings you the latest news, stories and updates from across the drag racing scene, with the occasional guest. This podcast is sponsored by Design by Binny. Now, let's get to it.
Welcome back to episode 13 of the Dragster.com podcast. A few weeks since the last episode. Last episode we were joined by VWDRC VW sportsman driver John Gallant. Great episode, that one. Nice insight into the workings of the VW sportsman and his choice of vehicle, and hopefully his trip to foreign parts. I'm going to be sending him a message soon, see if we can get some words for him for the site. Would be nice to know how he got on in Germany. This time round, we have recorded another guest. In that time we were away. Well, I say a guest. We had planned only one, but we ended up with two, which was fantastic to have. One guest said, would you like another one to join us? I thought, fantastic, brilliant idea, let's do that. So, which was also very perfect considering it was a class that we needed to tick off our grand racing list, our grand tour, so to speak, through the world of European and the United Kingdom's drag racing circuit. We'll get to that chat later. With our guests, but in this episode, our regular catch-up from news and information from the site, together with some winners and bits and pieces from Dragstalgia, which happened after we recorded the guests. The event took place on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday in another scorchingly hot day. Fantastic weather for racing. I'm sure the drivers would probably say it wasn't, because sometimes too hot can be the same as too cold. Not being a racer myself, I pass judgment over to them. So let's go down our lovely list of winners from the Dragstalgia event. I spent 2 days live reporting. Couldn't make the first day, unfortunately. Work commitments got in the way, as per usual. Have to pay for these trips somehow. So let's look at our winners from Dragstalgia, starting with the Dragstalgia Cannonball. Fantastic field fielded this weekend, or this past weekend, at the event. Won this time round by Eric Wallander in Tre Corona. Fantastic car. Absolute steadfast throughout the whole event of the Dragstalgia Cannonball. Supercharged Outlaws was won by Luke Watts. Nostalgia Superstock, absolutely dominant force within Nostalgia Superstock that weekend, was John Sleeth. Gasser Circus, Jason Pickett, another absolute tour de force within the Gasser Circus class. Outlaw Wrangler was won by the stalwart that is Colin Miller. Willie's Wars was run by Alan Rimmel. Old School Stockers was taken by Stephen Howe, and the NSA Shootout was won by Graham Sykes on the Hobbit, which was great to see a absolute legend of racing on an absolute legend of racing machine. Also, alongside those winners were the showmanship trophies that were awarded on the Sunday of the event. So the low ET of the event went to Tony Betts in Venom Nostalgia Funny Car. The backup girl of the weekend went to Shannon Cummins. Best appearing car was the Hemi Headhunter. Best appearing bike went to the Hobbit. Best appearing team was Mick Sharp with Riding Dirty out of the Wild Bunch. Burnout of the weekend went to Frederick Larson. Driving job of the weekend went to Adam Clayton. That was specifically on the Friday, so not technically the weekend, but still the event. Wheelie of the weekend went to Andy Bloomfield. Spectacular, all four wheels off the ground. absolute rear bumper scraper. Moment of Dragstalgia went to Paul Harris for getting into the fives for his first ever time in the Nostalgia Funny Car. Superb run, that one. And finally, Spirit of Dragstalgia went to the Koster family with Limited Funds team. They had quite a big event planned for Dragstalgia, especially with some a pass by Mark. But then Harley took over in the seat of the ball breaker slingshot, unperturbed by the events surrounding the weekend. But another tour de force coming through the ranks. Harley has made his way through Junior Dragster and has been dominant within that class and has taken that dominance by the horns and moved into his father's car and is just progressing over 100 miles an hour every single time. Great to see. Also, our usual awards were a standalone for this event at Dragstalgia. So the ET Award went to Neil Francis, which is the John Morton Perfect ET Award. He dialed in 1080 and did a 1080.05. So the money goes to Neil Francis for that. And the Bad Habit Racing Perfect Light Award goes to Ray Turner with a 0.0003 reaction time. They were your Showmanship Trophy winners and the actual event winners from Dragstalgia. My thanks personally go to Max Frost. Superbly run event, considering the absolute scorching heat of that whole weekend. Was very difficult. And as I said prior, when I did the main event, I was going to find some way of keeping my operational systems cool. And I did. And it worked spectacularly. And, you know, I'm going to blow my own trumpet on that one. Had a wild stab at it and it worked and it was great. So I'm glad that I could keep posting as well as possible. Let's shift track a little bit as well, moves to our news roundup on the website. If you don't frequent the website as much as you do, what are you doing? Go and have a look. Please do, you know. We always welcome people visiting the site. The site itself has been running since 1997, not in our ownership, but certainly has been around and as an absolute stalwart of the European drag racing scene, with some of the previous owners. There are some of them still within the job roles within the site, which is always great to see, and I thank them every time that they provide things to the site. So let's have a trip round the news. So thanks to Sean Kevin Bow for the latest link to the Showtime Racing Team video, which you can find online at YouTube, or if you are actually in the Eurodragster.com website, you'll see the news item. It contains a link. You can click on that and it'll take you straight to it. There's some information on the site also directed at the drivers and riders for the forthcoming Summer Nationals from the SPRC concerning your commitment to pitting cars. If you need that to be read, you can go and have a look at it on the site. I won't go through it on here. Attending the Summer Nationals alongside the regular information from Ian Marshall at the SPSA concerning event timings kicking off at 10 a.m. on Thursday the 9th of July. That gives you a breakdown of what's happening there. Let's also shift into our lovely Swift snippets. This is our bit where we just celebrate people's birthdays. So these were the birthdays from the 4th of July, the Independence Day in America. So birthday celebrations go to Kathy Taylor, Super Street Bike sponsor, Hall of Famer, Santa Pod official, United States fuel-altered racer Randy Bradford, Swiss Pro Mod racer Michelle Nord, 850 bike racer Gary Malone. They all had birthdays on the 4th of July. The 5th of July, Super Street Bike racer Alan Morrison Jr., Huxley crewman and web guru Richard Bell. Happy birthday to you, gentlemen. The 6th of July, Pro ET racer Marie Mills, Nostalgia Superstock crew chief Michael Dowdy, and I'll add driver now to that CV. Swedish drag bike team manager, I'm going to butcher this name, Roger Lyron. Looking ahead to the 7th of July, Howard Holmes, Michael Franklin, Vinnie Killington, Dean Clatworthy all have birthdays on that day. Happy birthday to you, gentlemen. 8th of July, just one this time round, Sportsman ET racer James Grew. We're looking ahead in time or backwards in time, depending on when you're listening to this podcast. And finally, on the 9th of July, there's no explanation necessary for this one. Everybody knows this gentleman, Callum Pudge. It is his birthday on the 9th of July. Steve Matthews, Gas Circus, Honky Tonky Racing Chevy. Rach Davison, wife of front wheel drive driver Matt Davison. Her birthday's on the 9th of July. And finally, Pro Mod Racer, also a gentleman that needs no explanation, drives the red Mustang twin turbo, Andre Arnover. Happy birthday to you all. Thank you for listening in if you do. It's great to hear from you. So let's switch over to something else. So with that mention of Pro Mod driver Andre Arnover, that's a nice little segue onto this week's episode's guests. I zoomed through that rather quickly. Let's talk a little bit about our guests before we listen to them on the recorded interview. The first guest, this was our first guest that we lined up, and I have to apologise that we kept him hanging on a little bit. But then the second guest came along, and I made him hang on even a little bit longer, and I'm really sorry about that. So first guest was a crewman, tuner, race guru, commentator, and thoroughly all-round good egg, Dick Koster. In the tower quite a lot. That's where I met Dick for the first time. Always a welcome gentleman as he passes by me to go and add commentary to the Pro Mod class. And also joining Dick this time, which was a bit of a coup for me because I love watching this car go down the track. Pro Mod driver of the 67 Camaro number 67, David Vegter. So this was recorded prior to Dragstalgia with the forthcoming Summer Nationals in mind. So let's delve into the minds of two Pro Mod specialists. So catch you on the other side. Welcome back to the EuroDragster.com podcast with our two guests this time. It was planned to be one, but a little bit of insider trading there, and we have two guests and yet another tick in our trip around the classes around the globe. And this time we're in the realms of Pro Mod. So this is quite funny. Yeah, this is the first time into Pro Mod, which is phenomenal. It's really quite funny because everybody that we've spoken to already, we asked them the question, given any car on the grid, any car, any racer, anything you want to do, what would you drive? I give you the keys to any car that goes to Centre Pod. What would you have? And do you know what they say?
No idea. Tell me.
Pro Mod every single time. I'm the only one that's different. I'm the only one. You see, I'm pro stock. I don't know why. I love pro stock cars. So
I would love to drive a pro stock.
Yeah.
I would love to do it. I talked to Jimmy about this a couple of times. I would love it.
Yeah, I just like the rawness of them, but I'm so glad that David's joined me in my camp. So welcome,
Graham. After tonight, you will switch.
Probably.
Yeah.
But here's the
mod all the way for me. So.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though. Nobody will give me the keys. So oh well. they're like, no, this is my pride and joy. I'm not letting anybody drive this. So welcome to the podcast, Mr. David Vegter and Mr. Dick Koster, all the way from Europe.
Yeah, it was a long trip.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm jet lagged.
All the way up to Chris in Teesside in Middlesbrough way, and all the way to the east. I'm probably closer to you actually because I live in the east in Norfolk, so in where we've only just got electricity. So although here's the weird thing, and Dick will know what I'm on about here, is when you look at the commentator's screen, it tells you where all the drivers come from, and that's part of their bio. And I'm amazed that there's probably a good 20 drivers of various cars and various classes that are pretty much a stone's throw from my house, and I'm like, I never knew. Where do you keep your 30-foot long dragster? It's not in your garden shed. Yeah.
You have to get out, Graham.
I do. I'm stuck in this office.
You go after the noise.
Yeah. Well, funnily enough, back there on Saturday. So, I should have gone tomorrow, but working life got in the way. So.
Is that the Nostalgia races?
It's Dragstalgia this weekend. So.
Dragstalgia, yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Cool.
So lots of international drivers for the first time ever in the Nostalgia Cannonball. So I'm really looking forward to that. So.
Okay.
All right.
So
we are Dave and I are way too young for Dragstalgia.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're only in your 20s, aren't you? So.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, late 20s.
Very late 20s.
So. I'm going to start with Dick this evening. I have known Dick probably only about 2 years, ever since I met him in the tower. And what a gentleman this is. What a gentleman this man is. Always with a smile on his face, apart from recently, after a slight questionable incident. But always with a smile on his face and an absolute treasure trove of knowledge. Like most of the commentators are, and they have their own little clique. I think, David, you miss out on this. They talk in a language that it's lost on me. This car belonged to that car, and that person had this one, and this one was this one, and this happened then, and I'm like, pass. Great. So I'm going to ask a question, Dick. Have you ever raced?
No.
Never?
No, and I will never do it. No, I started as a mechanic, and I will always be a mechanic.
Yes.
And I like I've been working with David, and before that also on rally cars and everything. I like to see cars go faster with everything we changed on it, see the results. That's my hobby. That's what I like.
That's it. Another man in my camp. Yes, given the chance, I would probably like to drive one, but I'm more happy to see other people getting enjoyment out of something that I have been a part of. So
yeah, exactly. David offered me a few times, but no. Not interested.
Not interested. Oh, wow, look at that. Say, David, don't bother.
I was thinking Showman Nationals. No, all right.
But that's it. You've ruined your racing career from now. He's never going to offer it again, is he?
I have a funeral at Summer Nationals.
Yeah.
So
no.
You're always very knowledgeable. I'm saying you're not knowledgeable in your mechanical side. So would I be safe in saying that you are a fabricator, a builder, an engineer to that level, or are you more into the tuning sort of side?
I think that's more a question for David to ask. To answer. No, I don't know. I like.
Dick is a problem solver. If he sees something and sees something wrong, or if there is something wrong, he sees it so quick, and he can solve it so quick. It's unbelievable. So a car comes back from a run, we got an issue, and Dick knows it in like 5 minutes. He knows what's wrong, what we have to do, where we have to go.
Oh right, that's a genius thing as well, isn't it? I mean, come on. I mean,
yeah, 100%, and there's only one who can do that.
I'm amazed by that. I think that to me is worth a thousand. Excuse me, I'm a bit warm at the moment. 1,000 drivers is seeing someone that knows. It's like having a Tesla. A Tesla these days tells you what's wrong with it before you even know. So if you've got this guy in the camp and he's looking across your car and he's thinking, that's not quite right, and you as a driver have said, look, let's just get in the car and drive, and you're like, hang on a minute, speaks volumes for you, Mr. Koster. Unbelievable.
Well, we're doing it a few weeks now, so it's maybe I don't know, experience.
So what? So what?
I don't know.
So beyond this, you obviously caught the bug because you're quite not knowledgeable within the realms of pro mod. So are you a lifelong fan of the sport?
Not exactly. Well, it's over 30 years now. I started in rally cars. Then a friend of mine was building V8 engines, and he was next to our rally workshop. And he asked me, "Why don't you come with us for a weekend just to have fun?" And well, that was quite the moment. Then I started to like it. It was like a sprint race in Holland on the dike. And well, I said, "Yeah, that's quite nice." And he said, "Okay, next weekend we go to Bontorp in Sweden. Why aren't you coming?" And from that day, I'm into drag racing.
You've never looked back, as they say.
No. Well, now I also do tractor pulling, but that's work related.
Yeah, and I have the original piece of documentation that you gave me. It's on a computer just over here somewhere. Basically, you gave me the down low on the tractor pulling, and if I remember rightly from a social media post not so long ago, didn't someone go to the tractor pulling recently? Was there a big meeting recently?
Oh yeah, last weekend in Maden, and we had a now a famous top fuel dragster driver, Colin Miller.
Yep,
coming over,
and
he really liked it.
Yeah, I have a bit of a passion for that too. I do watch it quite regularly, but I've never been. I've never actually truly been.
Yeah, you should go.
I remember a long time ago, and this is going back to my youth, which is, phenomenal amount of years ago. I remember where I come from in Cambridgeshire, which is where I was born, which is still East Anglia, but I'm in the next county over now. We have a company called Perkins that make engines.
Yeah, I know.
And and they used to have a tractor for tractor pulling called the Perkoil Express, and I remember that so vividly, and that's stuck in my head since I was a child. And whenever I see it online, I'm instantly watching it, and it just because you see, it doesn't have to be turbines, it doesn't have to be one engine, it can be four, it can be any combination, and I'm just like, oh my God, no, I thought drag racers were mad,
Yeah.
Think again.
Yeah, and then again, locally last week, I went to literally 12 miles up the road, and I've done this before. I live near the North Coast, and on the East Anglia there is a North Coast on the East Anglia. It's a bit weird. They do powerboat racing and water skiing, and they were doing it on a river, very locally to me, and a chap comes over from Holland, and his boat, I have seen his boat before. When I first saw it probably 6 years ago, it broke down, and he drove all the way home overnight to get the part to come back and race the next day in the UK. And funnily enough, that boat was here again, and that was 1,200 horsepower for the river.
Yeah.
And he's towing a man behind him, and he's doing 95 on the river.
Yeah.
And I thought,
it's nuts.
It is. People get their kicks with everything, but I'm a true. Well, we call them petrol heads, but I'm a motorsport convert from day one. I follow quite a lot of disciplines within there, but ever since I met Chris and we took over running Euro Dragster, I'm a total total nerd now on drag racing. I can't get enough of it, and I mean, I love all the history. I love all the back stuff. I love all the backstory, and hence the reason I've now found the European database for drag racing, and it's just opened my eyes to so much stuff.
Yeah, and the drag racing database goes way back, years back.
Yeah, and beyond 2009, David.
Yeah.
Wow, even further.
Yes.
I've been watching this for a long time before I drove it myself. So, yeah.
So, are both gentlemen aware of Robin Jackson? Comes up.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
So this gentleman is an absolute. He's like yourself, Dick. He's an absolute treasure trove of knowledge. And I asked him the question.
He's like Tog from Euro Dragster.
Yeah.
I also call him my own little Google. We are in the commentary at Hockenheim together. He knows everything.
Yeah, he
but
does.
the same does Mr. Jackson. Yeah. When there's something new or some record, while we are racing pro mod, so while commentating, he comes running over to me, ticks me on my shoulder. Look, new record.
Yep.
This and that speed, half a mile or whatever, but he knows it.
And I could show you, but it won't work very well on an audio podcast. But I have Chris and I both get emails from Robin quite regularly on bits and pieces for the Hall of Fame and things like that, but also especially for pro mode updates. And he's like, this person did this PB in Q1 of this, and it isn't just here; it's everywhere. Everywhere that pro mod run, Robin's not very far behind, and that's pretty much how I got all this information, because I know that in 2009 David made his debut at Mantorp.
Yep.
And I really don't like saying this, but he didn't qualify. You were 24th.
Yeah.
No, but I was super proud because first run we did, I think, 666 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we did a 648, if I'm correct.
I've got 6.641, 199 miles an hour, which is on the database. So, however accurate that is I'm reading that third hand. And if go back to 2009, can you remember who won that event?
Wow.
For Pro Mod.
Probably
Patrick Wickstone?
Max Eriksson.
Max Eriksson, yeah.
Okay. And Mickey Gilchrist really did dominate quite a lot. I did go through looking who won.
No, but not in that time, because he had the Bel Air style, and he started dominating it from when he bought the Camaro.
Yeah, which is another question. Do you say Camaro or do you say Camaro? You know. Yeah. This is a battle I think Daryl has quite regularly with Thomas.
We have to ask Colin. I think he knows.
He does. One question that I did when I asked Daryl, I sent him a message and I said, "Look, Dick's coming on the podcast. Is there anything I should ask him?" And he said, "There's one question." And he did big you up. He did big you up, actually, Dick. He said you're a perfect gentleman and you're very knowledgeable and you're a great friend, and you know every time that you're in the commentary show you have a whale of a time. But he said there's one question that you have to ask Dick Koster on the podcast. And I said, okay, what's that? He goes, what did you do with the T-shirt?
What did I do with the T-shirt? Yeah. What did he do? Oh, now I know. Okay, well, I've been crewing for David almost since day one. He has his pro mod, even before, and we, of course, were wearing team shirts at that time from MPM Oil. And at the time, my racing hobby started becoming my work. And it was too much to combine crewing for David and doing the work. So I decided to quit at David's team. And at that very last run that David made, while I was crewing for him, I handed my crew shirt over to Daryl.
Yep.
Okay.
And I think Daryl still has that shirt. I have seen that shirt. I'm sure I have.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm sure I've seen that shirt because I've seen him in a David Vegter Pro Mod shirt. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. But yeah, he said that was the one thing he said. He was like, he really shone a light on you and said, what a perfect gentleman you really are. But just ask him about the T-shirt, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. But
yeah, that was my cruise ship.
So when did you finish working with David in that respect then?
Oh.
Am I putting you on the spot?
16 or something? 17?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah,
it should be something like that. Yeah.
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 Because I've
maybe before. Yeah. Well, something like that. Yeah.
So according to 2016, 2017. Yeah, I've literally got all your championship standings from those years, David. So it's really quite funny because Robin sent me your FIA achievements. And I don't. When I read it back to in my own head, I was like, "Really? This doesn't seem right." I'm sure you've had more than this, but it said 1 race win, and I was like, "That can't be right."
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Somehow we've not been lucky on the. I got numerous of finals, but we always ended up runner up somehow, and we've not been very lucky on that, and. We've not been just hugely successful, really. But, in our way, we always have fun and we always have a great time, really. So, yeah.
So, seven race runner-ups, it says. So,
okay.
But how many times runner-up in the championship, Graham?
3.
Exactly. That's not too bad.
And I can tell you, I can't tell you where, but I've got 22, 23, and 24.
Yep.
So, make it.
Sorry, that's me, but I don't know how to stop that. Yeah.
Yep, there we go. Yep.
Okay.
So, your 7 race runner-ups. Let's start. 2012 Euro Finals.
I remember that one.
2013 main event. 2014 Hockenheim.
Okay.
Against
Matthias Vulcan.
Oh, yes. Okay. 2017 Alastaro.
Yeah. Against the Baker.
Yeah. 2019.
Orca Persson.
2019.
Where?
Tiep.
Tiep. Yeah.
2022 main event, and then 2024 Tiep. So I'm going to bow on this one. Crashed by Ingo Roller.
Oh.
Yeah. There was three runs. Yeah, on the new car, 3 runs, finals. Yeah.
Yep. That was 2009, and you rebuilt it and you brought it back for 2011 main event.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 68 Camaro, supercharged methanol, built by Andy Robinson race cars. And
correction, 67.
67? Oh, Robin, you are sacked. What's the one thing about that car that still is number one? Do you actually know? Because I've slightly given one of them, given that little quirky little fact away.
Why I like this car so much?
Yeah, but the one thing that is you are still number one on the list. It is the quickest Andy Robinson race car built Pro Mod.
Yep.
Still to this day, which seems ironic, really, because he's a master fabricator and a master builder, and yet built a faster car for someone else.
Yeah.
Which
true.
I'm not knocking Andy. I mean, I one of these days I'm going to try and get him on the podcast because he's obviously been around a long time as well, and I'd love to get inside his head. But
Graham, Andy is so very proud of that David is still the quickest in his built car.
Mm.
He's really proud of it. Of course, it's a pretty old car. It's almost 20 years. Well, okay, 16, but he's really proud of it, that David still has the quickest car.
Yep.
Yeah.
But You see, this is the thing as well with the shells. They seem the body shells seem to follow a pattern to a certain extent. Drivers still stay quite honest to something that they've chosen. And probably the only one that sticks out in my head is Stian Rusanes, that has changed from his Willis to something completely different. So, but everybody still seems to stay quite honest with their original builds.
Well, Michel Toren made quite some switches.
Yeah.
It is. It definitely is. Yeah.
It's a modern car, but it's you can't run closed looped or controlled by computers. It's basically the same setup that we have, except yes, EFI, so you got electronic fuel injection.
Yep.
We got mechanical fuel injection, but the ignition is controlled the same way that we do with Fuel Tech. So it's not much difference on that, except that this car is way more modern.
So that's a path that he's chosen, and I mean, I know it's taken him a little while to get to the bottom of what he needs out of that car. But every time I see him race, it's one step closer to where he needs to be, and I think that's a personal battle for everybody with every driver, and I suppose it's with you as well, David. That you know what your end game to a certain extent is going to be. You know what you want out of that car at any given time, and it's how you get there. I've spoken to many a driver about. There are so many variables within cars, and I think is it a little bit more prevalent in pro mods that track plays a huge issue, fuel plays a huge issue, conditions, atmospherics, everything, any variable can just throw one thing completely off your game.
It does. Yeah, it's very hard. That's especially the track conditions to make they're a huge factor in racing. Like for the main event, we underestimated the heat in the track at the end of the day in the finals. Mm-hmm. The track is a huge factor.
Yep.
But we have to consider the weather. You have to consider the temperature of the engine, how far you get, how far your tires have worn out, or maybe your engine is performing a little bit less in the fourth round instead of the first round. It's so many factors, so many variables.
So do you keep a physical note? Because I see things from the NHRA and I see them writing, they write a whole script on what they've done, what the weather was on that particular day, what that run produced, so you can track back through all your data and say, I have a good idea of where I need to be.
Absolutely, yeah. We keep track of all of that. We do digital. We put everything in raceback, but we keep track on anything.
I mean, at the site we do everything on the computers, but I still write things down. I have books upon books upon books of scribbles that probably don't mean sense to anybody, but if I need to go back to something, I know exactly where it is. So let me just
well, the good thing, what we do, or David does, the digital part, he has his raceback files from every run, mm-hmm. and in that file also is a logbook. The weather is registered, the track temperature is registered, 60 foot, all the split times is all registered at that run, at that file. So if you remember, I was then at that track, I think it was Q2, let's see what it was. And then everything is in that file.
Ah, you see.
And then you can see, all your data from that day, a few years back. So that's the best, easiest way for us to do for them.
So, yep, I can't deny that technology has assisted the sport so much over the past few years, but it still boils down to one thing, and that's you on the day and you on the run as a driver.
Yep.
You can make every step possible to get you to that line first, but a blink here, a miss there, and there is a human element within everything that you do.
Oh, 100%.
Luckily, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you can always shift too early or too late. That's a lot of things is still driver based.
Mm-hmm.
Reaction time and the shift points. And well, look at the other guy. In the US and HRA, they just have to release a button in time, and the rest goes by itself. Okay, they have to hold the steering wheel, but they don't have to shift. They don't have to deploy the chutes. There's not much more a driver has to do in the US. And in Europe, the driver has to do everything by himself.
Well, one of the most important things in making a good run is getting your shift points at the right time. Every run. If you shift 200 RPM later than the previous run, you can't tune anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. It's so important to have those shift times same, accurate every run. And
that in its core of everything that you do just blows my mind every single time. Is yes, a car can go A to B. Yes, it can go in a straight line, but there are so many variables that people don't know about that will cause a hiccup here, a little, a miss, an RPM shift or something like that just throws you out that little split second. It blows my mind every time because I only see it from above. Now, David will. There's one incident that pops into my head that David came up for a chat in the tower, and then somebody tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Actually, you should be in your car right now." And that just. And I remember him going, "Oh," and then ran. So there was a slight delay, and then realised we were quicker than we should have been. But I see everything from a person already in the car, already strapped in, already with their helmet on. Pretty much committed to making that run, and all I see is the end product. And you make judgments and you make calls on that, and I look at that, and every time I look at Pro Mod, and I think this is it. It's just where everybody wants to be. And every time, as I said, I've asked people, "What would you drive?" and everybody would said, "I would take a Pro Mod any day of the week," is because I think it's still in its element. It's still one of the most sought after classes in European drag racing.
It's let's say the wildest, maybe.
Yeah.
The real hot rods, they have a mind of their own. The cars, they can do funny things out of nothing.
Yep.
They make a step to the left or to the right or whatever, and with no disrespect at all, but a top fuel dragster is that long, they do not need that much correction as the Pro Mod cars do.
Mm-hmm. And I said, but also you get different cars. Let's take for instance, there are a lot of Camaros. So yes, there were wheelies with Stian Rosanes. There, Freddie Fagerstrom's truck, the Blown Bird. There are a very widespread field of cars. JT with John Tebenham, and who now is deciding that he's going to change his discipline, which is quite interesting. But there are characters within the class as well, which makes it even more unique. The different cars, the different drivers, the different driving styles. I often laugh at Freddie Fagerstrom, and if he
we all do.
Yeah, if he goes across the 1,000-foot marker doing a burnout, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. So it's always great to see him. It's a pity that he doesn't come that much. He didn't come anymore, but I've seen him racing. I'm sure I've seen him racing at TIEP this year already. So it'll be nice to see him out in the UK again, because he's got quite a following. where do you see, Dick? Where do you see the class moving? Do you see it just keep growing and growing? Because I'd like to see more of a field myself personally.
Well, back in the days when we started, I remember we were at Montauk Park. I think we had 37 pro mods entered.
And that's that.
And now the last few years, we were lucky if we had 16 or 18 cars.
Yeah.
And now it's getting more and more again.
Yeah.
Because it's a real serious class. It's going really fast and quicker. And I understand people want to go pro mod racing. Yeah. Of course, in Europe, I think it's the number one class.
Yeah.
Well, the most crowd favorite as well.
Yep. And I wouldn't say that I would not disagree with you one little bit on that. I really wouldn't. Because I say I'd like to see that class grow and grow and grow, and I think it's the same for every class. Every driver that competes in, it doesn't matter whatever class, whether it be sportsman or it be top field dragster. People would like to see the classes grow and become more challenging, because I think sometimes that makes you better as a driver. Yep. And we seem to have lost David on the call there. He's disappeared into the ether. So. We'll continue how we're talking with you. Right. So, it's a bit of a strange. He just disappeared out of the from a driver to a mechanic. It just seems a bit of a.
You can fix everything on the car, but don't give him a computer.
Oh dear. It's probably one of the good things I was going to actually say to David, that his partner is one of our sponsors. So I was going to thank him for that. That LV Performance came on board to Euro Dragster, and I was going to say thank you to them. And it's nice that he passes the car over sometimes as well. But I think she's had a bit of bad luck, where every time that she's got in the driver's seat to make a pass, something's got in the way, whether the car decided it didn't want to do what it wanted to do, or there was a bit of rain, or there was a problem at the far end. So it'd be nice to see his partner out there a lot more.
Aylin, you mean?
Yeah. I really want.
Yeah,
I know
really
she
wants
has
to do it.
Yeah, I know she has. Doesn't she drive her father's car?
Yeah. A yellow. I don't have to lie. I think it's Chevelle.
Yeah.
With a Chrysler 440, also on methanol and a blower, and they run it at the Malmo tracks.
Ah.
Hello, Eileen. She now has to fix David's computer.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I get that.
Yeah. No, but she and her dad have a car, and the plan is she makes some more runs in that car at Malmo, and then when she gets more comfortable, then she will go back in David's car again. Maybe Bug Jam, maybe the national finals.
Oh,
but she will definitely be running it again this year.
Oh, great to hear. Great to hear. So,
correct. What did I miss?
What did you miss? You didn't miss anything. You just missed us talking rubbish, really, basically.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to my questions, because this is going to throw a complete curveball, and it's going to make me sound rather intelligent. And this is aimed at David, really. But I wrote some questions down a long time ago, and I thought one of these days I'm going to get somebody that I can ask these to, and whether or not they can answer them, even I don't think I could answer them, but we'll try. Now, the first question is, I wrote these down, and I'm going to read these as I've written them, so it might sound a bit strange. It says, number 1, you've been a consistent force in European Pro Mod drag racing. What's your mission for 2026?
Championship.
That one, the one, number 1.
Yeah, and I wanna go in a 5.6.
Yeah, you want to do a 5.6?
Oh yeah, we feel miserable in the first 2 events this year. I missed out on some runs, and we had a broken component, and we didn't see it in time, and then we missed out on a lot of runs after that. But my goal is going into the 5.6. That's my ultimate goal.
And that's totally doable.
I need. Yeah, if we can't do it, it's me tuning the car or me driving the car, nothing else.
Nothing else. And that car has a 5.6 in it. You are dead certain that it has a 5.6.
100%.
100%. And I'm going to take my hat off, even though I'm not wearing a hat. I'm going to take my hat off to you and say, 100. Bravo for believing in yourself and your car.
Thank you.
Number 2. Now it says Vegter Pro Mod Racing is meticulous. Now okay, is meticulous in its preparation. Is there an area of the car that you obsess about?
Wow. Obsessed being good. Yeah.
Are you need something just right every single time? And I admit that there are 1,000 things on that car.
We need the engine. It might sound strange, but we don't need every run the most power of the engine, but I need it consistent.
Yep.
Every run. And so that means the valves need to be good. The spark plugs, it needs to be consistent. Same temperature every run. If it's not that, it's very hard to tune it.
Yep.
We don't do so much at the race with this, but the converter is very important for us. We run a converter, the handicapped style car.
Yep.
Instead of a clutch, but the converter is very important.
So basically, question 3 is going to really sound like question 1 in a weird way. It says the Pro Mod class is constantly evolving. Is there a challenge for the team this year? So is that the 5.6? Is the challenge the number 1 qualifier? Let's throw it in there. Let's say 5.6, number 1 qualifier, number 1 on the rostrum, on the podium.
Yeah, in that order.
In that order.
Yeah.
I'm not going to deny that, and I'm going to write that down now, and I'm going to stick that somewhere in the tower. And every time that's achieved, I'm going to put a big tick mark, and I'll put something in a pot for you at the end. Give you some prize money at the end of the year. Say, well done, you got all 3, yay!
Yeah, oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I think this isn't synonymous with Pro Mod. I think this is with every driver on the grid and every rider. It says, when you roll into stage, what's in your head? Green light.
What's in my?
Yeah.
I can do this, and I have to pull a good reaction time, and that's so freaking hard to do that consistently.
Yep.
But I've done this a few rounds now, and I used to be a little bit nervous for the run. I am not at all anymore, so I'm super confident I can handle the car, whatever it does. It's just pulling a good reaction time, and that's what's going through my mind.
And you see,
and I remember in the beginning with David, we were a small team, and then every time he sat in the car, he was thinking, oh, is this torque? Did they do that? Is that tightened? Is there fuel in it? But the team is so, how you call that, full of routine, that David knows that everything is done. So that's something he can take out of his mind and just sit down and enjoy.
And that's a very important part, that everybody that's in the team around you, you have a great deal of trust within them to know that they're looking after you as well.
100%. I sit in the car, I don't have what Dick said, I don't have to think about anything, just race the car. A
little bit off track, I'm going to break up here with a bit of a tangent. I watch a lot of NHRA stuff just basically because I'm trying to teach my brain about all the intricacies of everything. And I was watching Chad Green yesterday, and he got a penalty for oiling the track.
Wow. Yeah.
And it was because his rocker cover bolts weren't in. And it just spewed oil everywhere. And somebody in the pits didn't actually attach the bolts on his rocker cover. And I thought, to a certain extent, and I know accidents do happen, but I would also think that we're a bit better in this country that we don't do that. We just don't do that.
No, I don't know. I see mistakes like that happen. And if I look at our team, a couple of years ago we forgot the fuel cap.
Ah, okay. And yeah.
You know,
I think it was in the final round even.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, I think it was. I don't know. It wasn't here, but you know, things happen. It does happen. You know, you can be distracted for some reason, and it does happen. And
I understand that we are only human
exactly. Yeah.
And things do happen. So, if I'm understanding this right, David, so this year was you had a reshell. You didn't rebuild the car. You just reshelled the car. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
But the Camaro is always very recognizable because I know if I close my eyes now, I know exactly what color your car is and what livery it has on there. When I went back to 2009 and some of your early times, they were very different. You had a fully liveried car with sponsors down the side and things like that. Yeah. But I can say for pretty much sake now that your car will have orange in there somewhere.
Yep.
And I personally I've been running a media company on my own, so as in photography and videography and doing graphic design for people, only small scale stuff, since 2011. And my company colours are grey and orange, which is a bit freaky. But so the question was, your car is still very recognisable. What's the history of your look?
Oh wow, what's the history of my look? Well, the first years, I think until 2015, if I'm correct, we were sponsored by MPM Oil.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically made the design for us. We didn't have not much to say about it. They made that, and that was it. So in 15, we lost MPM as a sponsor. And from then on, I always wanted to go back to the original Camaro stripes, Camaro, whatever, racing stripes on it, because I loved the looks of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the orange is because orange is in the national color of Holland.
Yep. I see. As simple as that. As simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. And we do all our livery with Darren West. He makes all our designs, and we just tell him what we want, and he makes it.
Mm-hmm. Because I remember main event, it was pretty neutral in its color scheme, and I think you added something. You added it there and then at the event, if I remember rightly.
Well, we ordered this body shell that we were discussing back in November 25, and we received it. Oh, when was that? 4 days before the door slammers.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to fit the body because it comes really, really rough from the mold. We have to fit the body, get it off again, get it to Mark Hartenveld to his. He's got a paint shop.
Mm-hmm.
Paint it the way we wanted, get it back on the car, and then get the stickers on. But we couldn't make it. We just didn't have time for that to do that anymore.
So it was a rush job.
It was a really rush job, and I just got the confirmation actually for next week Thursday to get all the stickers back on it.
Ah, you see.
So the next race, Summer Nationals, we will be the same as we always are.
with the big race number on the roof.
Correct. Yeah.
So you can see it from a satellite. You know that as David Vegter's racing at that moment.
Yeah. That's something actually that the MPM came up with that number. Yeah, you can still see it on Kim Christian's car. He's got 68 on it, 68 Firebird, and that's something MPM came up with, and he also kept it because that's a Mark Meyersen's car.
Ah, right.
And we were both sponsored by MPM.
You see, there are little quirky little things in the racing history that stand out, and to stay honest with something that fell in your lap, so you thought, oh, well, there's no point in changing it. I'm just going to keep it.
Correct. Yeah, that's us.
So, following on with the next question, is there something in your career to date that stands out?
I think the one win we have.
I feel so bad.
There was a huge thing for us, and there was a strange race. We had number 1 and number 2 elimination in completely different weather as number 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember, there was a huge storm that came over. All the tents blew up, and we had a lot of rain coming down. I didn't expect to race anymore, and then the weather completely turned around. I had to change so much in the tuning. I was lost actually. So that was when we won that race. That was huge for us.
So that was if I remember right, was that 2023?
Yeah,
that was 23. So in 2023, So in 2023, I've got you as second in the championship FIA Pro Mod.
Yeah.
5th in MSA. Well, that'd probably be MS UK at the time, Pro Mod.
Okay.
And then it says 5th in the Euro Drag Racing Series. So this is pulled off off the database. So I've got a long list of numbers. But looking at your numbers within that, looking at your final positions, you're always there or thereabouts. You know, you're always, as I always say in this country, always a bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah.
And believe you me, as I always say, I root for everybody, but I love to see people win. And I know what it means to people to see them win. So that's the difference that I think for me. I whether you win or not, and I see you smiling, and I see you laughing, and I see you joking, knowing that you've enjoyed what you've done. That's a win for me, no matter what.
True, and that's really true. I didn't win much races, but I love what we're doing. I love being together with my family. We have a whole family coming along almost, and our friends, of course. I really enjoy people doing great stuff with their race car, knowing what amount of effort they put in. I love that stuff.
Yeah, and me too. I always said that once upon a time when I started doing photography, I like to see people come to an event with a smile on their face and leave with a smile on their face, irrespective of what's happened in between. I know that they've enjoyed what they've done on that one event, and I would hope that that's how I see drag racing in Europe at the moment, is that there are people enjoying it, there are more and more people stepping into it, and they see yourself driving Pro Mod and you think, wow, this is, can I do this? And I think that, and it's one of the things that we've always said as well, is that drag racing has been fully inclusive since day one. They've never had a male league and a female league. It's winner take all, and I take my hat off to you all over that. I really do. I think that's one of the best things about the sport.
Yeah, I agree. And the nice part as well is that the drag racing family, but especially in Pro Mod, if we can, we'll always help each other.
Yeah, and I've seen that. If I remember rightly, an engine breakage, and the guy comes over and he says, "I'll take my spare. Take this, take that.
Yep.
Have this, have that. Have you got this? Have you got that?" And I see that every single class, and it's admirable wherever. And I wish that we could see more of that. But So, David, the next question: what's one upgrade and change you've made that delivered more than you or your team expected?
Oh wow! I've been going from MSD ignition to fuel tech. That's the major upgrade. It's phenomenal. With MSD, it works, but we have so much breakdowns with MSD.
Mm-hmm.
Going to fuel tech is the one major thing that helps us.
It's created a level of stability in the car.
Yeah, exactly.
And a bigger tuning window, a lot more things you can change or have the ECU do,
right.
Like lean outs and timing control, everything.
It's all in one system.
Now you've lost me, Dick. I have no idea what you're talking about now.
It's super. It's way easier to tune. I think. Well, not way easier to tune, but way easier system to work with. Yeah. And it doesn't down as much as an MSD.
Is it more forgiving? Is that a thing? Can I say that? Is it more understandable of what you want? You put in and it delivers what you've asked of it.
It makes tuning more visible on your laptop. It's how to explain that. With MSD, you have to work with different systems. Your fuel is one system, and your is another system. And with fuel tech, it's all one, and you can see.
Yep. It's cause and effect. So you change one thing, it shows you what you've changed and shows you the result of your change.
Yeah.
So
makes life easy.
Bit of a loaded question, this one, and you can choose not to answer it. And I tried to word it quite cleverly because I didn't want anybody to think that you were having a go at anybody. But it says the Pro Mod field is stacked. Which driver / rival pushes you the most? So not that you want to race and you want to beat. Which driver when you match up tests you?
That's a hard question.
Do you find yourself? Let's ask you this way: do you find yourself? Do you find yourself facing the same people?
Yeah, it's at the moment I feel Andy Robinson is a challenge to beat in his reaction times. They're phenomenal at the moment.
So racing against Andy Robinson helps you.
Yeah. So Andy Robinson is a tough competitor, and Jere Rantanami with his turbo is, they're so quick with those cars. That's a tough one.
Here's the thing
consistent.
Here's the thing with the power adders aspect of Pro Mod. Do you find that it's just a different way of producing a win, whether it be a twin turbo, whether it be blown car or anything like that? It's just completely different way of thinking about it. Because you say with it, the Adrian Yami's car, he's consistently delivering speed all the time, and that helps you to understand them better and yourself. Sounds a bit confusing, I admit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Does a twin turbo car? They are different.
Yeah.
They are totally different on the track, so it's a different way of tuning. It's a different way of driving, but ultimately, it's A to B, and you wanna give him a run for his money, as you say.
Oh, 100%. But they are so quick. You think you beat them at the first 330 feet, and then they slap you around the ears at the top end because they're so quick with these cars.
They're faster on the back end. because of the boost?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. They're 10 miles above us, so we have to be super quick.
Yep.
On the first part of the racetrack to beat them. So they're very, very hard to compete with. And besides that, Jerry Rantemann is really good. So is Andres Arnover. They're very, very tough. To compete.
And I get that. I mean, I don't know the intricacies of turbo cars or supercharged cars or things like that. I really don't know the intricacies of what needs to make a winner out of those cars. But I see they bring their game every single time. They really do.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So last question, and it's quite going over old ground, I'm afraid to say. But looking ahead, what's David Vegter Pro Mod Racing going to do in 2026? It's going to be the championship win, the 5-6, and the podium.
Yeah, all those three. We are. I'm not saying I can do it, but car-wise, we can do it.
Yep.
We got all the parts to do it, but we have to work really, really hard to get it done, and we're going to do anything for that.
For that win. So your next outing will be Summer Nationals?
Correct.
Yeah. And Dick, will you be at Summer Nationals?
Definitely.
Definitely. And so will I, funnily enough.
Crewing for David. Not my regular job, but now crewing for David.
Right.
I won't be up in the tower.
Oh, you won't? Oh, dear. What will they do? What will they do without you?
I'll let him wave to you.
No, because last time he was absent from the tower, and we don't talk about that anymore. So.
So the last time I wasn't in the tower, I was in hospital.
Yeah, and that's understandable, but we missed you, and we were as the tower was, we were all worried about you. So we're glad to see that everything is back to where it should be. Even though you've got a bit of a scar, you've got a war wound that you can talk about now.
Yeah, I can show everyone.
So, with that being said, thank you very much for joining us on Euro Dragster. I appreciate you sharing your stories and your tales of woe. And your one win that I'm not ever going to mention ever again because I don't want. In all fairness, I'm going to rip up that piece of paper now and never see it again. But I will see you all at Summer Nationals. I probably won't see Chris. I'm pointing like this because Chris is over there on my screen. I won't probably.
I'm in the bottom car.
But I will see you all at Summer Nationals and have a safe trip over and win the event, please.
Thank you very much.
I will see most of you at the European finals.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right.
It'll be the first time, I think, Chris.
Yes.
When he wins the championship, shall we say that? Shall we? We'll mark it here now. We'll save it now.
Good idea.
Yeah, positive attitude. Thank you very much for joining us, gentlemen. I admit we had a little hiccup in the middle, but we're back on it now. So enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you very much. You too.
I'm going to step out of my office now because it is like a microwave. And try and cool down. Have a good evening. Yep. Cheerio.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, guys. See you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.
And we're back from that great interview with our guests this time around, and I personally like to thank both of them for this episode. As we release a new episode, I hope I'm slowly getting the hang of these chats we have with these people that graciously give up their free time. 100% out of my comfort zone, although it's probably evident that I can talk forever because I have a tendency to talk a lot. These two gentlemen kept true to their promise to join me, and I had to. And as I said prior to the chat, I had to delay them a little bit, and they kept hanging on. And once I found common ground, we all dialed in, and it was great to hear from them. It really was. Perhaps as the season comes to a close at the end, we'll do a nice long episode and touch back with all of our guests that we've had on this podcast so far. Also, some serious questions this time. I thought I'd want to do a little bit more structure to the chats this time. So for the last few guests, I've spent some time prior to recording and doing my homework. So I sent out some feelers to some people that both knew these gentlemen quite well. This time round was Daryl Bradford, great commentator, great friend to have in the tower, always makes me smile, an absolute font of knowledge that is locked away in his little grey cells. And also another gentleman which has a great deal of information and is there for every Pro Mod meeting, is by the name of Robin Jackson. Another gentleman that I have long, detailed discussions with about cars, about drivers, and just about drag racing in general. So I did homework from the European Drag Racing Database, which honestly has been a huge source of information this time round. I'm quite new to using that, and guess what? I'm going to tap into that like crazy now. I never realised it was there. I perhaps should have known from a long time ago, probably 3 years ago, when I first started doing working for Eurodragster.com. I should have really known it was there, and I didn't, unfortunately, but this time I found it, and it's an absolute treasure trove. Absolute treasure trove of information, not just from here in the UK, but all over, from Mantorp, from Tieppe, from Alistaro, from Hockenheim, from Clastres. Oh, fantastic. Type in a name, throws everything at you. So won, lost, qualified, times, speeds, everything that you could possibly need to know. Wonderful place. And as I say, going to be using that a lot more every time I have an international guest, and possibly a homegrown guest as well, because I know that quite a few of them are in there as well. But I also need to know from you guys that take the time to listen to this podcast if I'm actually doing the right thing, because I do waffle on a bit. I know I do. And I know I'm pretty lousy at recording things as well. But I hope with a change of hardware that I've slightly got the hang of what I'm doing now. But then again, I always love the feedback, good or bad. It's always greatly appreciated. Love listening to people chat when I'm at the track, or just generally messages saying, keep going, don't do this, your microphone was awful, things like that. That being said, if you'd like to chat on the podcast, you can drop me a message online on socials. Most people have, but then again, I do get messages through the proper emails. So if you do want to drop it through email, the email address is podcast@eurodragster.com, or you can do it all through the socials. Most of the people that I've chatted to now have me as a friend on the social media networks. So once again, let's shift track again. So this was recorded just after the last event. I'm probably going to say this. It's probably still running as I record this. So Pull Up 2 was running this past weekend as I record this event. And that included round 2 of the Carl Cox 590 Pro Mod Series round. I live reported remotely for that event because I know where I can find all the times, all the data. I used YouTube. I sent messages to Thomas Cook-Aber. It's been as easier than I thought it would be to get all the data I needed. But careful listening, rewinding, going into ET slips, going into Sandapod results, gave me everything that I could possibly need. So this bit was literally recorded as the finals have just been run. So the A final was won by Carl Cox. So who'd have thought, eh? Win your own series. The B final and third place went to Kev Slyfield. The C final in 5th place went to John Webster. The car sounded a little bit on the poorly side. I know he had transmission issues earlier in the day. D final, although it was a solo, and 7th place went to Nathan Bartolo of Malta in the RX-7 with the rotary. I know he had issues during the whole event, but managed to put a time trial down at the very, very end, and it delivered right at the very last run of the event. Also, a posthumous mention must go to JC Grant in the 2JZ powered Porsche. Massive congratulations to JC and the team. Running into the sixes for the first time. Massive PB, 6.3675 at 225 miles an hour. Unbelievable. It seems that the 2JZ is an engine that has been around for quite a while, and I know from my drift days has been around for quite a while, but seems to be an engine of choice now for drag racing, which who'd have thought, eh? So don't forget to check out the live reports section in the events page. All the timings, all the pairings, all the points are up there from both days, from all the qualifying rounds, and they technically call them eliminations, but they're not. They're just how you get your final pairings. And also the galleries from both days, gratefully appreciatedly donated by Julian Hunt, as ever, on Eurodragster.com. So let's look ahead. It's looking like a busy month. And funnily enough, all the events seem to be jam-packed into one weekend. So let's look at our events page pulled directly from the site. The 4th and 5th of July, so the same event time of Pull Up 2, is the No Guts, No Glory 2 at Manston Park. We do provide galleries on those, and there's no reporting from those, but I'm sure somewhere along the line there will be some timings posted alongside galleries. Moving on to the 10th to the 12th of July, the Summer Nationals at Centre Pod Raceway, which is my next live event. I will be there bright and early on the Friday morning, and will probably be leaving late on the Sunday night. Lots of sportsman classes, the usual suspects in attendance, including the pro mods. So I will see Dick and David in person and thank them immensely. Also that weekend on the 11th and the 12th of July, Thrust Fest is at Melbourne. It's like a jet car meeting. I must go there one day. I'd love to go there, and probably that one event would have been it, but unfortunately I am at Centre Pod. The next week following that, 17th to the 19th, is Transit Mania. Centre Pod Raceway. We don't actually ever cover that, but I'm sure we'll manage to find some galleries from someone that does, that are nice enough to donate them to us. 17th and 19th, also that same weekend, is Jade Racing Mariansill in Germany. We will endeavour to try and find some galleries from that event as well. 18th of July is the Mustang Nationals at Centre Pod Raceway as well. We don't actually cover that one as well, but I'm sure, once again, we will find some pictures that someone has been gracious to donate to the website. Funnily enough, the same weekend, 18th and 19th of July, is the inaugural Streetcar Nationals at Manston Park. Tog usually attends Manston Park, so hopefully he will be there for that one. And funnily enough, the 19th of July is the Ford show at Centre Pod Raceway. That's a lifestyle event, so we don't ever cover those type of events, although I do pull data when I can, when I'm at the track. After the Summer Nationals at Pod, the next live event for me will be the big one, that is Bug Jam 39 on the 24th to the 26th of July. Big VW festival, lots of people, very, very busy event. The Fuel Funny cars turnout for that. So that will be, if I'm right in thinking, their penultimate round for Nitro Funny Cars. And that, my dear friends, is that. A quick run round the website. A great interview with both guys from the Pro Mod class. And that's it from me this time. So quite a simple podcast. Always thankful for people that download it. Always thankful for people that give me messages that have downloaded it. With that being said, you can get this download from our host's Podbean. You can also get this podcast from Apple, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, and the Eurodragster.com site on our dedicated podcast page. Don't forget, if you want to join us on the podcast, and we'd love to hear from you, especially from some great classes. I know there are some classes out there that we haven't actually targeted yet. I have some planned returns from some earlier guests, and I have in the wings, hopefully Summer Nationals next week, I will speak to the people involved. Quite a long podcast, and I think quite a hard podcast from two gentlemen that have said that they want to come on and have some fun with us. They're all things that are in the wings. If you want to join the list and you are representatives of a class, I'd love to get some representatives from the bike classes some more, some Super Street Bike, ET Bike, Comp Bike, anything, Funny Bike, Fuel Bike, anything along those lines. Nostalgia, Superstock, Wild Bunch, Gas Circus, Outlaw Wrangler, although we have talked to Colin Miller, but that was on the 760, and I'm bracketing that one in 760 heads up. Love to get some retro people on. I'd love to talk to Keith Lee, actually. I must send him a message and say, hopefully we'll get you on in the future. But thank you for joining me this time. Hopefully we can continue this into the future. I'm probably going to put some bits and pieces together after the Summer Nationals, or if the time doesn't really work out and isn't on my side, it'll be after Bug Jam, where I hope to get some bits and pieces from drivers and riders from the event to play on this podcast this time round. Thank you for joining me. Hope to see and hear from you soon, and I will see you all at the Summer Nationals in a week's time. Thanks.
That was the Euro Dragster podcast. For drag racing news, reports, galleries and classifieds, visit Eurodragster.com. Join Graham and Chris next time for more from the world of drag racing.